Not all toothpaste was created equal. Some actually protect and heal your teeth, and some just taste kind of minty. And there's also some that kind of taste gross. But anyway, that's besides the point. What is the best toothpaste that you can get? Now, luckily you have me here to tell you what the best toothpaste is, and you should trust me because I'm a dentist. Hold on, if you're a dentist, wouldn't you just recommend the worst possible toothpaste so that we get more cavities and then we have to come to you and you make more money? Huh. I never thought of that. That's a good idea, man. Okay, in all seriousness, I'm gonna tell you what type of toothpaste I like and what type of toothpaste I recommend for my patients. And before I continue, just know that for some people, the best type of toothpaste is gonna be a little different. That's because everyone has different needs. Some people have extreme sensitivity. Some people have different allergies. Some people have a ton of cavities and need to get it fixed as soon as possible. So I'm gonna help go over the best toothpaste for your exact situation. Now, my favorite toothpaste is gonna be something that has fluoride in it. Now, we're gonna get into why fluoride is important and also get into some alternatives later in the video, but specifically, my favorite type of fluoride is called stannous fluoride. Now, these are some things that I just jotted down when I think of what is the reason that we use toothpaste? What are we looking for when we think of toothpaste? Well, a good toothpaste is something that prevents cavities, something that strengthens our enamel, and something that lowers sensitivity. So if you have sensitive teeth, something that fights that. Something that helps protect against gum disease, because it's not just about your teeth, it's also about your gums. Your gums are what house your teeth. They're both important. And also something that gives you fresh breath, because you want to have fresh breath. And this is where toothpaste comes in, because a lot of people ask me, why do I need to use toothpaste? You know, our ancestors didn't use toothpaste. Cavemen didn't use toothpaste. Couldn't I just brush my teeth with a stick or brush my teeth with water? Well, theoretically you can, and still it would be helpful, because when you're just brushing your teeth without any toothpaste, you're still gonna clean them, you're still gonna mechanically remove the plaque and debris on your teeth, but you're not gonna get any of these other benefits that you get with toothpaste. Now, going back to my pick of stannous fluoride, it's the only one that actually checks all these boxes. It does literally all these things. Now, the fresh breath, it really depends on the type of flavor of toothpaste you get, but besides that, everything is gonna be accomplished with stannous fluoride. Now, where can I get this exact type of stannous fluoride toothpaste? So, whatever toothpaste you're using, you're gonna wanna turn it around and look at the active ingredients. There's gonna be a ton of different types. So what I look for is something that actually says stannous fluoride. There are different types of fluoride. For example, there's something called sodium fluoride. There's also something called sodium monofluorophosphate. Either way, just know that you're still gonna get some benefits, just not all the same benefits you get with stannous fluoride. Now, I did make another video kind of going into detail about these different types of fluoride in toothpaste, so check out the description and the link below. But essentially, for something like sodium fluoride, you're still gonna get these benefits of preventing cavities and strengthening your enamel, but that's about it. You're not gonna get the other benefits like helping fight against gum disease with these types of toothpaste. Now, luckily, most products make these different types of toothpaste. So if you look at like your typical Crest or Colgate or whatever toothpaste brand that you use, if you just turn it around, you'll see that there's different types. Just look for one that has the ingredient that you like. Again, I recommend something that has stannous fluoride. The only drawback to stannous fluoride is that it can potentially cause some staining to your teeth. Now, luckily, this staining is not permanent, and it can usually just be polished off at your dentist visit when they polish and clean your teeth. But what's even better is the newer forms of this stannous fluoride don't really even stain your teeth at all. Like, I've been using stannous fluoride for a while now, and I've noticed no staining on my teeth. Now, with that being said, I know there's some of you that are probably looking at me, and if you made it to this point in the video, and if you have this opinion, I'm really proud of you for sticking around. So, round of applause for you. But if you are anti-fluoride, if you completely do not want to use any fluoride toothpaste, there are alternatives. The one that I recommend is something called hydroxyapatite. Now, that nano word is very key because there's different types of hydroxyapatite. So hydroxyapatite is what our teeth are made of. Our enamel crystals are these hydroxyapatite crystals. So with this type of toothpaste, you're still gonna get that remineralizing and you're still gonna get that strengthening. So you're still gonna get that prevention of cavities and it's still gonna strengthen your enamel. Now you might have a question here like, wait, why do I recommend fluoride if our teeth are literally these hydroxyapatite crystals? Wouldn't I want the same thing in contact with my teeth? Well, it's a good question, but decades and almost 100 years of research has shown that fluoride is gonna be the best thing for our teeth, because fluoride will not only incorporate into our teeth, but it will actually make them stronger than they originally were. So for example, our teeth will typically break down at a pH of 5.5. So when things get acidic, our teeth will start to break down, and this is when we can start to get cavities. But when our teeth are in contact with fluoride and our crystals have started remineralizing with this fluoride, these crystals are now called fluoroapatite. So they turn from hydroxyapatite into fluoroapatite. And now these crystals are a lot stronger. Now you need a pH of 4.5 to start breaking these down. So something has to be a lot more acidic to break down a fluoroapatite crystal than a hydroxyapatite crystal. This is why fluoride is still recommended. So that being said, if you use a hydroxyapatite toothpaste, yeah, you're still gonna get that remineralizing. It's still gonna swap out those old minerals with the new minerals, but the teeth are still going to be weaker than a fluoroapatite crystal, where that pH is still gonna need to be 5.5 to break them down. The other thing with these hydroxyapatite toothpaste is, one, they're gonna be a lot more expensive. Also, you need at least 10% of this hydroxyapatite to get good results. Otherwise, it's just not really effective. That's what the studies are showing. So it's really hard to find the right toothpaste that has this 10%. And the other thing you want to note is you want to make sure it is nano-sized particles. There's different types of hydroxyapatite toothpaste out there. Some of them are called micro-sized. If they're micro-sized, they're not really going to work very well. You need to get the nano-sized hydroxyapatite particles at 10% to make sure that you're getting the quality results. Otherwise, you're probably just going to be wasting your money. Now, the other note with hydroxyapatite is there hasn't been a whole lot of research yet. So a lot of people think that it's going to be safer than a fluoride toothpaste. I, on the other hand, think the complete opposite. I think a fluoride toothpaste has had decades of more research showing that it is safe at the levels that we are using, versus hydroxyapatite, there hasn't been a whole lot of research on it yet. Now, don't get me wrong, all the research out there so far has still shown that it's safe, but just keep that in mind. Now, before I finish, the last thing I want to talk about is xylitol. A lot of people ask me about a xylitol toothpaste. Like, can't we just get rid of hydroxyapatite and fluoride and just use a xylitol toothpaste? Now, xylitol is pretty cool because it's an antibacterial. It's the only sugar substitute out there that actively prevents cavities. So when those bacteria that cause cavities, when they eat xylitol, those bacteria actually die. So xylitol is really cool for our mouth. This is why it's used in different chewing gums and different products, because now when we have something that tastes really good with xylitol, we're also helping prevent cavities. So I think xylitol is great, but it should not replace fluoride or this nanohydroxyapatite. And when we look at our thing here, what does it do? Yes, it can help prevent cavities, but it doesn't strengthen our enamel. It doesn't do any of the other things. It only helps fight those cavity-causing bacteria. You're not going to get any of that remineralizing. That's where that hydroxyapatite or that fluoride comes in, which actually strengthens your enamel because it swaps out those old crystals and puts in new crystals that are strong again. So I think the best thing would be to look for a toothpaste that has xylitol in addition to that nanohydroxyapatite or that fluoride. And with that being said, I would avoid toothpaste that have no remineralizing. So there's a ton of xylitol toothpaste out there that have no active remineralizing agent in them. Those are ones that I would totally avoid. So again, just to wrap it up, my favorite toothpaste out there is a stannous fluoride toothpaste. If you're against fluoride, look for a nanohydroxyapatite toothpaste that has 10%, and look for something that has xylitol that you can add on to your toothpaste. As always, thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked that video. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel below, and I will see you in the next video. Is the fluoride in your tap water secretly damaging your teeth? There's something called dental fluorosis out there that some people point to as a reason that you should completely avoid drinking normal tap water. So in this video, I'm going to explain exactly what dental fluorosis is and whether or not you should avoid your water. Dental